Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Starting with the name of Allah, the most beneficent and the most merciful. My name is Malaika and I'm from the Department of Basic Chemistry. Today I'm going to present a very important topic in my presentation, which is relative to textile industry and includes dyes, and in dyes specifically sulfur dyes. Sulfur dyes are complex heterocyclic molecules or mixtures formed by melting or boiling organic compounds which contain amino or nitro groups with sodium polysulfide and sulfur. Sulfur dyes are so called because of two reasons. Number one, they contain sulfur linkages within their molecules, and number two, they contain sulfur. Like direct dyes, sulfur dyes are also quite cheap for dyeing cellulosic textiles with limited color fastness properties. Different types of sulfur dyes include Ci sulfur dyes, Ci leucosulfur dyes, Ci solubilized sulfur dyes, and Ci condensed sulfur dyes. Sulfur dyes are highly colored, water-insoluble compounds and have to be converted into water-soluble substantial form, means leucoform, before application to the textile material. This conversion is carried out by treatment with a reducing agent like disodium sulfide. Since this leucoform of sulfur dye is substantive to cellulosic materials, they are absorbed on the fiber surface, and once they are absorbed, they are again converted to the original form by oxidation. And this oxidation is carried out by either air as an oxidizing agent or by using sodium dichromate as an oxidizing agent. As you can see in the figure below, that reducing agent converts the S in dye, sulfur in the dye, into HH group and sulfur linkages. Then inside the material, these thiol containing SH groups are oxidized and thus reconverted to the original form of dye. Sulfur gives best results, means bright tones, when they are used to produce black, brown shades, but red shades cannot be obtained by sulfur dyes. Now we'll have a look at some of the history of sulfur dyes. So first sulfur dyes were made in 1873 heating sawdust, caustic soda and sulfur. It occurred by chance when a reaction vessel containing disodium sulfide was leaking and the sawdust was used to wipe the solution coming out. Later, a cotton fabric came in contact with this contaminated sawdust and became stained. The real pioneer of sulfur dyes was Weidel, who produced Weidel black by fusing paraphenylene diamine with disodium sulfur and sulfur in 1893. In 1897, Calisher produced Imedial Black FF by heating 2,4-dinitro-4-dihydroxy-diphenylamine with sodium polysulfide. And lastly, in 1896, Reed Holiday introduced a range of gray, brown, and black sulfur dyes by the action of sulfur, alkali sulfides, and many organic compounds. The manufacturing method of sulfur dye is very simple. We take any aromatic hydrocarbon, we produce it. We produce sulfur dye using thionation or sulfurization, and the sulfur dye which is produced, it will contain hydroxy amino or nitro group. Thionation means reaction of organic compound with sulfur, and sulfurization means to combine or treat with sulfur compound. Now talking about properties of sulfur dyes. So some of the properties of sulfur dyes are: sulfur dyes have sulfur linkage within their molecules. Sulfur dyes are highly colored, water-insoluble dyes. They have no direct affinity towards cellulosic fibers. They have good light fastness with rating about 4. These dyes have excellent wash fastness with rating about 3 to 4. They are not applicable to wool due to strong alkaline condition. They are exclusively amorphous. Few of them show crystallinity. Important for producing a wide range of shades on a variety of cotton and rayon. Sulfur dyes are suitable for heavy and durable shades, available in powder and soluble form. Sulfur dyes are cheap and easy to manufacture, and they are resistant to heat and chemicals, and they have poor fastness to chlorine and are not applied to goods which are bleached with hypochlorite. Some of the features of sulfur dye include amorphous colloidal materials, high molecular weight with various compositions, complex molecular structure, heterocyclic molecules containing sulfur linkage, decomposed by acids with the liberation of H2S, and characterized by a thiazine ring containing sulfur atom. Now we'll discuss the chemistry of dyeing with sulfur dye in detail. So as you can see that the first equation is explaining that sulfur dye contains sulfur linkage within their molecules and they are insoluble in water, but they can be made soluble in water when we will treat them with reducing agents. This also makes them substantive towards cellulosic fibers. Disodium sulfide acts as a reducing agent that breaks the sulfur linkage and break down the longer molecule simple components which can penetrate the material surface easily. In second equation, you can see that these thiols containing the SH groups are readily oxidized by the action of atmospheric oxygen or any other oxidizing agent. This reconverts the water-soluble leucoform of sulfur dye into previous water-insoluble form, which has a very good wash fastness property. Sulfur dyes are negatively ionized. No van der Waals force effect on them is activated. Addition of salt improves efficiency of dyeing by increasing physical force. Now this is the chemical structure of the sulfur dye. Sulfur dye contains sulfur atom in their molecule and characterized by a thiazine ring. And this portion shown of sulfur dye is only a small portion and the structural formula is incomplete because the complete composition and structure of sulfur dye is not known. Now talking about the classification of sulfur dyes. So sulfur dyes may be classified in many ways, but according to their solubility, there are essentially three classes of sulfur. Conventional or water insoluble dyes, leucosulfur dyes, partially soluble or solubilized sulfur dyes. Talking about the reducing steps and oxidation steps of sulfur dyes, which are very important in the sulfur dyeing process. As I have explained earlier, the reducing step is the most important in the application of the sulfur dye. Unless the dyes are converted into the completely soluble form, the full color value cannot be achieved. So solubility of reduced sulfur dyes varies appreciably from dyes to dyes. For example, yellow sulfur dyes are the last soluble dyes. Reducing agents used are sodium sulfide, sodium hydrosulfide, thioglycolic acid, pseudothiohydrogenation. Then talking about the oxidation step of sulfur dye. After dyeing the reduced water-soluble form of dye, it has to be converted into the original water-insoluble form by oxidation. And the commonly used oxidizing agents are potassium dichromate, sodium perborate, sodium percarbonate, and sodium peroxide. Use of perborate or percarbonate in presence of acetic acid gives brighter shade, and treating dyed material with diachromide without rinsing reduces color losses but causes dull shade. Now, if we have to dye cellulosic fibers with sulfur dye, then the sequence would be as follows. First of all, goods preparation, then dye solution preparation, then dyeing, then oxidation, then after treatment, and then dyed goods. Typical recipe for dyeing with sulfur dye includes sulfur dye 10%, disodium sulfide 1.5%, salt 8 gram per liter, soda ash 7 gram per liter, temperature 100 degrees, time 90 minutes, and material liquor ratio 1:20. Sometimes we can also add a chelating agent like ATTA so that any metal salt extracted from the cotton goods and effectively remove these ions from the dye bath. Second step is goods preparation. So only normal penetrated fabric is required. Mercerized cotton goods causes an increased color yield of 30 to 40%, but goods bleached by sodium hypochlorite should not be dyed by sulfur dyes. Then the reducing step, as explained so many times earlier, that the required amount of dye, soda ash and sodium disodium sulfide are taken in the beaker and a little amount of cold water is added to it so that we can make a paste. In a separate vessel, the rest of the water is boiled and the paste is added to it. Then the mixture is boiled for 5 minutes to make dye completely reduced. Then the most important, dyeing. So as you can see in the graph that the first dye solution is taken in a dye bath and the fabric is immersed in that solution. Then we will heat it for 10 to 15 minutes. Then half of the total NaCl solution is added and temperature is raised to boil and then the rest amount of NaCl is added. Dyeing at this temperature will require 30 minutes. Then the steaming is turned off and the application continued in cooling liquor for a further half hour. This steaming helps to diffuse the dye into the fabric before fixing. Retained dye liquor should be rinsed out immediately from the surface of the fabric. Then we have oxidation. So after dyeing, the reduced water-soluble form of the dye should be made insoluble by oxidation, and the oxidizing agents we can use are potassium dichromate or acetic acid or sodium perborate or sodium peroxide. Typical recipe includes sodium perborate 0.5 to 1 gram per liter, temperature 40 to 50 degrees C and time 20 minutes. After treatment includes soaping of the fabric. The light fastness property of sulfur dyes, which is generally good, can be improved by after treatment with certain metallic salts. Thus, the treatment with copper sulfate and acetic acid in presence of potassium dichromate improves the light fastness. The following recipe is used in after treatment. Copper sulfate solution 1 to 2%, acetic acid 1 to 2%, temperature 70 degrees and time 20 to 30 minutes. Now we'll have a look at the precautions which must be kept in mind using dyeing process. First of all, in the application of sulfur dye, the dye bath should not contain calcium salts because if they are present in the form of insoluble co-compounds with the sulfur dyes, which precipitated easily in closed machines and form sludge when restrict the circulation of the dye liquor. Secondly, the dye should be dissolved with soda. Thirdly, great care should be taken during the reduction process because over-reduction should lower the affinity of dye towards the fiber. Fourthly, fabric must not be exposed to air during dyeing to prevent precipitation and oxidation. Fifthly, to prevent uneven dyeing in the fabrics, salvage more amount of disodium sulfide or sodium hydroxide and salt should be added in case of the jigger dyeing machine. Sixthly, to prevent the browsiness, the dye liquor should not be very warm. Browsiness is basically a defect of sulfur dyeing, which I'll explain further in my presentation. Goods dyed with sulfur black should be after treated with a solution of potassium dichromate followed by rinsing. This will prevent sulfur black tendering. Sulfur black tendering is also a defect of sulfur dyeing, which I'll explain further. Let's have a look at the topping of sulfur dyes. So sulfur dyes act as mordants for the basic dyes. The cotton textile materials dyed with sulfur dyes can be topped with basic dyes for brightening the shades. So topping of sulfur dye is one kind of re-dyeing by which required brighter shades are obtained. So for topping, first dye materials is washed thoroughly to remove the alkali from the fabric. Then the fabric is treated with basic dye in a second dye bath containing acetic acid of alum. In this bath, temperature is raised about 6 degrees to control the exhaustion of the basic dye. Now, how can we improve the fastness properties of these dyes? The light fastness of sulfur dyes, which is generally good, can be improved by after treatment with certain metallic salts. Thus, a treatment with copper sulfate and acetic acid in presence of potassium dichromate and sodium dichromate improves the light fastness. When the dichromate is also present, the washing fastness is slightly improved. In actual practice, the following after treatments are given: copper sulfate solution 1 to 2%, acetic acid 1 to 2%, temperature 7 degrees and time 20 to 30 minutes. Now I will discuss the effects of sulfur dyeing, which I have discussed previously. There are mainly two defects which are common in sulfur dye textile materials: bronziness and sulfur black tendering. Now, what is bronziness? This is a common defect found in sulfur dye textile material. Its causes are excessive delay between lifting of the material from the dye bath and washing off, exposure of goods to air while dyeing, too much use of common salts as exhausting agents, insufficient disodium sulfide in dye bath, strong dye liquor in dye bath. We can correct this defect by good washing and dilute solution of disodium sulfide, treatment with boiling soap solution or a strong disodium sulfide solution, adding ammonia, TR oil, or a treatment with a solution containing 10% sulfonified palm oil. Second effect is sulfur black tendering. If sulfur dye textile materials are stored, tendering effect is seen on the cellulose. Due to the storage, a part of the sulfur color converts into H2SO4 by oxidizing, which in turn causes degradation of cotton by hydrolysis. It is a serious problem of sulfur dyed goods. Its causes include gradual oxidation of sulfur to H2SO4 on storage. After treatment with copper salts causes rapid tendering. Presence of iron as an impurity causes rapid tendering, and the method of oxidation for the reconversion to insoluble form influence tendering. Remedies include treatment of dyed material with 1 to 3% of potassium dichromate, treatment with a little acetic acid, and using 5 gram per liter soda ash. Now, stripping of sulfur dyes. So, unevenly dyed shades on cellulosic materials with sulfur dyes may be corrected by treatment with a warm solution of disodium sulfide in the presence of a polyvinyl pyroiodine. If this method is found to be ineffective, then the uneven dyed material may be treated with a solution of sodium hypochlorite or bleaching powder. In some cases, bleaching with KMnO4 solution may be effectively carried out. In other cases, the dyed material may be treated with warm sodium hypochlorite solution in the presence of NaOH. Now, the uneven dyeing of material is caused due to the following reasons. Number one, the oxidation of dye during dyeing when the material comes in contact with the air. Number two, presence of gummy material on the fabric. And number three, defective dye. So here are some of the uses of sulfur dye, which includes it is used to dye umbrella clothes with sulfur black. It is used to dye cotton fabric. It is used to dye rubber material, hence after treatment by copper sulfate. So the colors or shades which are found from sulfur dyes include red, which is not good, not pure red color, black, blue and brown, which are excellent shades, and others include olive, orange and green. Why sulfur black shades are most popular? Because they are low cost, they are fair to good light fastness, they have high harsh fastness, easy to apply, they require low energy, they are chemically resistant, and they wide range of shades, especially on heavy, durable shades on apparel fabric. Now we'll discuss some of the comparison between sulfur and VAT dyes. If we talk about molecular size, then sulfur dye molecules are very large, whereas VAT dye molecules are small. If we talk about shades, then sulfur dye gives dull shade due to wearing conditions, but VAT dye gives bright shades. After reduction, sulfur dyes give out smaller size molecules. On the other hand, VAT dyes give large size molecules. If we talk about the fabrics which can be dyed by sulfur dye, it includes cotton, rayon, nylon. If we talk about VAT dye, it can only dye cellulose and rayon. Under high temperature and humidity, only sulfur dyes can be hydrolyzed, but VAT dyes are easy to hydrolyze. If we talk about the wash fastness, then sulfur dyes have a wash fastness rating from good to very good, but VAT dye have excellent wash fastness. If we talk about the price of VAT dye, it is cheaper. But if we talk about the cost of VAT dye, it is costly. If we talk about light fastness, then in the case of sulfur dye, it rates from good to very good. But in the case of VAT dye, it is excellent for anthraquinone. Sulfur dye is clear from its name, it will include sulfur linkages, but those sulfur linkages are not shown in VAT dyes. If we talk about the ionization, then the dye molecules are negatively ionized after reduction, and this is the case in both of these dyes. That's all from my side. Thank you.